Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Shraddha's Physics. This video is based on statistical mechanics for the core 14. Our topic is Fermi-Dirac distribution function. As you know, this Fermi-Dirac distribution function, here this Fermi-Dirac mechanics is applicable only for the identical indistinguishable particles, and we can say that they have the half integral spin. Okay. And here the particle involved are known as the fermions. So there are some conditions which the Fermi-Dirac distribution law follows, that are the particles are distinguishable from each other. So there is no distinction between the different ways in which the particles are chosen. Okay. And the second one is the particles obey the Pauli's exclusion principle, according to which each sublevel or cell it may contain 0 or 1 particle. That is, Gi should be greater than equal to Ni. Gi means the degeneracy must be greater than equal to Ni, means the number of particles. It means that this Gi greater equal to Ni, it represents if there are Gi number of divisions and there are Ni number of particles. Gi number of divisions means there are Gi number of cells, and if there are Ni number of particles are available, then the number of cell available, it must be greater than or equal to the number of particles in the system. Clear? Number of particles means here it represents the fermions. The last one is the sum of energy of all the particles in the different quantum group. They taken together, it constitutes the total energy of the system. Clear? So the distribution of Ni particles in Gi state, it can be done in the following ways. Due to the Pauli's principle, no cell can occupy more than one particle. Clear? So among the Gi cell means, so there are like this, there are Gi number of cells. Okay. So among Gi cells, only Ni cells are number of cells are Gi. So this so among Gi cells, only Ni cells are occupied by one particle. So if the first particle will come, then it may lie in any of this Gi cell. Clear? So only the first particle have the choices that it may sit in the any of this Gi cell, and then this Gi minus Ni cells are empty at that condition. So the possible number of such distribution is Gi factorial. As the particles are indistinguishable, all occupied Ni cells are similar to each other. Clear? Since these are indistinguishable particles, you cannot say that here the particle is 1, here the particle is 2, and or so on. So since they are indistinguishable, so the all occupied Ni cells are similar to each other. So Ni factorials, since there are Ni particles, so they can lie in a Ni number of cells. So they are similar to each other. Since Ni factorial cells will not give indistinguishable arrangement, so the number of distinguishable arrangement of Ni particle in the Gi cell is, that is Gi factorial divided by Ni factorial into Gi minus Ni whole factorial. Clear? Since there are Ni indistinguishable particle, but we cannot give the indistinguishable arrangement in this Gi number of cell, so we can make the distinguish. We don't know in how many ways the particles can be arranged, because since the particles are indistinguishable in nature, we cannot say that the particles, which particle will lie in which cell. Clear? So if we will consider that the particles are distinguishable in nature, in that case we can say that the total number of distinguishable arrangement for Ni particle in the Gi cell, where Gi is greater or equal to Ni, in that case we can say that this will be Gi factorial divided by Ni factorial into Gi minus Ni whole factorial. Clear? So the total number of eigenstate for the whole system, so this will be like the product over I equal to 1 to k Gi factorial divided by Gi minus Ni factorial into Ni factorial. Clear? This is only the summation, the product over I equal to 1 to k. This is the number of eigenstate or the number of microstates. Okay. So taking the logarithm on the both sides, we can say that this log of omega will be equal to, this product over will change to sum over I equal to 1 to k, this will be ln gi factorial. Because of this division, we will place the minus of log gi minus ni factorial minus this will be ln ni factorial. Clear? Here the gi and ni are the very large number, so we can use the Stirling approximation. So the Stirling approximation says ln x factorial will be equal to x ln x minus x. So by using this, we can write this ln omega will be equal to sum over I equal to 1 to k. This will be gi ln gi minus gi. Again this will be minus gi minus ni ln gi minus ni plus, since here it is minus, so minus minus becomes plus, this will be gi minus ni. Again this will be minus ni ln ni, minus minus becomes plus ni. Clear this much? Now this will be equal to sum over gi ln gi minus, here you can see that here minus gi, here minus gi, and again this is this is minus gi and this is plus gi. This is your whole term gi minus ni ln gi minus ni. So here it is minus gi and this is plus gi, so minus gi plus gi get cancelled, and here minus ni plus ni they get cancelled. So this total term get cancelled with you this ni and gi. So the remaining term will be gi ln gi minus this term gi minus ni ln gi minus ni, and this term that is minus ni ln ni. So since gi is constant and here we are considering that the number of cells to be constant and the number of particles to be variable. So in that case, if we will differentiate both sides, d ln omega will be equal to sum over I, this will be minus gi minus ni, derivative of gi ln g, and we have to calculate the derivative of this total term. So this will be minus gi minus ni into derivative of this 1 by gi minus ni into your minus dna. Since this gi is your constant, so only minus dna. Again plus this will be minus minus becomes plus dni ln gi minus ni, since gi is your constant, so this term come. Again this will be minus ni into 1 by ni into dni. Clear? Here also minus ni means this is your dni minus dni ln ni. Clear? So this term, this gi ln gi, this term goes to 0, since gi is your constant, so this first term goes to 0. Now you can see that this gi minus ni get cancelled, this ni get cancelled, only dni term remain. Here you can see that, so the term is like minus minus plus dni, here minus dni, so this term and this term goes to 0. So the only term is dni ln gi minus ni and minus dni ln ni. So taking dni common in both, ln gi minus ni, this will be minus ln ni whole into dni. So for a system to be in equilibrium, so this is the result of d ln omega will be equal to this much. Okay, so for the system to be in equilibrium, omega should be maximum. So the d ln omega will be equal to 0. D ln omega 0 means this term also goes to 0. Clear? So ln gi minus ni minus ln ni dni equal to 0. So the system here must satisfy the two conditions, that is the conservation of the total number of particles, that is n should be constant, so that dni will be goes to 0, since the number of particles is constant, so dni goes to 0. It means that first of all we have considered gi as constant where ni is variable. Again here if we will say that the two condition, like the total number of those particle, the total number of particle in the system is to be constant, so in that case n equal to constant means dni equal to 0, and according to the conservation of the total energy of the system, E equal to constant, total energy is constant, that's why d will be equal to 0. D is 0 means ei into dni sum equal to 0. So by multiplying, this is your equation 1, 2 and 3. If we will multiply equation 2, this equation 2 by minus alpha and this equation 3 by minus beta, and if we will add these three equations, this 1, 2, 3, then the equation will be like sum over ln gi minus ni minus ln ni minus alpha minus beta ai whole dni equal to 0. Again, this bracketed term will be equal to ln gi minus ni divided by ni. This is log a minus log b equal to log a by b. This is gi minus ni divided by ni will be equal to alpha plus beta ai. Clear? Again, this gi by ni, this will be minus ni by ni is your 1. That will be equal to taking antilog of both sides, or this will becomes your exponential alpha plus beta ai, or this will be gi by ni will be equal to exponential alpha plus beta ai plus 1. So ni will be equal to gi divided by this much. So ni will be equal to gi divided by exponential alpha into, in place of beta we will place 1 by kt. This is your 1 by kt into your ei, this is your plus 1. This is known as Fermat-Dirac distribution function. This is your Fermat-Dirac distribution function. Since exponential alpha plus beta ai is greater than equal to 1, so we can say here that this ni by gi must be lesser equal to 1. So then, when ei is very larger than kt, here ei is very larger than kt, so in that case this occupation index means this ni by gi, it would approach to your Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics means this will be ni equal to gi divided by exponential alpha. This is your, I can write as alpha plus beta ai. It means that plus 1 goes to this exponential alpha plus beta ai is very larger than 1. So we can write that this will becomes your e power alpha plus beta ai, or we can simply write it as e power alpha into e power ei by kt. So this Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, in case of Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, ni by j, or the occupation index we can write as 1 by exponential alpha plus beta ai. In case of Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, in case of Fermat-Dirac distribution function, we can write this ni by j, that is the occupation index, will be equal to 1 by ni divided by j will be equal to 1 by exponential alpha into e power ei by kt plus 1. And in case of your Bose-Einstein distribution function, that will be ni by gi will be equal to 1 by exponential alpha into e power ei by kt. This is minus 1. It has been already, we have discussed in your just previous class, we have discussed for your Bose-Einstein this will be simply minus 1. In Fermat-Dirac this is plus 1, and for your Maxwell-Boltzmann this will be ni equal to gi by exponential alpha plus beta ai. Clear? So this is all for today. Thank you.